All right.
I won't start till you start, so
Okay.
don't worry.
Hey, what's up, guys? I want y'all to do something for me real quick before we get started. Can I get everybody to raise one hand up just like this? I got a question for y'all. What we're going to talk today is health and where it really comes from. So if you would say that you know with 100% certainty that you know what it takes to be healthy for the rest of your life, put your hand down. That's good. I want y'all to look around the room real quick. That's actually a perfect statistic because there's a Harvard study out there that shows, yeah, you can put your hands down. There's a study that shows that 92% of what people think is actually attributed to their lifestyle, or what people think is disease is actually caused by lifestyle. So a lot of people, when we get into what is health, a lot of people think that health is what? It's how they look and it's how they feel. My name is Dr. Rob Neuenschwander. I'm with New Life Chiropractic. I want to thank Dr. Hollinsworth for having me in to speak to the ladies' luncheon today. I got about 5.5 to 8.5 minutes to share my favorite topic, which is spinal health and actually true innate health, where it comes from. So the next question I like to ask people is, who's responsible for their health? And the typical answer that we get is, it's my doctor, it's my insurance company, it's my wife, it's somebody that's financially controlling them. But what I'm going to share with y'all today is actually going to let you know how you can take control of your health, and you can actually be one of the few. Only about 6% of the population knows and utilizes what I'm going to tell y'all today, to be one of the few to actually maintain your health into your 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, and actually be free of drugs, free of surgery, as long as you want to be. So whenever we talk about health, it's important to know where health comes from and actually how it's defined. I want y'all to take a look at the screen. I bet most of y'all can actually recognize this guy. The logo might help a little bit, and if not, you can probably recognize him here. So this is Steve Jobs, and this is the last picture taken of him before he died. The reason I bring this up is if you go back mid-20s to 30s, he actually looks pretty healthy here. And when you start getting towards the end of his life, I don't think this, and certainly this, would be what anyone considers to be health. And this is somebody who had no shortage of those things that I just talked about. He is one of the wealthiest men on the planet. So he actually had all the health care. He had the best insurance. He actually had a personal chef, a personal trainer. I don't know if y'all knew that. So unfortunately, he was not able to save his life with those things. He actually his friend said that he actually exercised no less than 2 hours per day, and he actually switched to a 100% vegan diet, trying to eliminate all GMOs, trying to eliminate pesticides and animal proteins, trying to do everything to be healthy. And this is actually the gold standard of the health definition. So this is 1946 World Health Organization. They said that health is optimal function. And I want y'all to repeat that word with me. Can y'all say function? Function. The body mentally, physically, socially, but then also spiritually. It's not merely the absence of disease, not merely the absence of sickness. So that's the best place to start, because if you do what we just talked about, symptom-based care with how you look and how you feel, you're actually still going to be in the boat with 92% of the country that actually still dies by the top 3 killers in the United States. So very quickly, I want y'all, if anybody knows the top 3, the number 3 killer in the United States, does anybody know what it is?
Cancer.
It's cancer. That's absolutely right. So this is actually accessed yesterday. This is right off cancer.org. In 2016, 1.6 new diagnoses and just shy of 600,000 deaths. A lot of people think that it's something else, but cancer is actually number 3. Most people think it's number 2. So do you know number 2? It's heart disease. A lot of people think it's number 1, but what I'm going to show you is that it's actually not. So this is Center for Disease Control, again, accessed yesterday, 2016, right off the CDC's website. 610,000 Americans die every year from heart disease. Number 1 cause of death. Anyone? That's usually the reaction I get. Most people think it's heart disease, but it's actually trying to cover up number 2 and 3. So modern medicine actually is the number 1 cause of death, accounts for 783,000 deaths every single year. Now, most people, the reason you think that it's heart disease and cancer, what they're telling you is that it's the number 1 and 2 disease killer in the United States. But it's not the number 1 and 2, according to just the numbers. It's actually the leading cause of death and injury in the United States. This study is actually from 2003. It's called the Death by Medicine study. I pulled this off Mercola's website, but if you want the whole PDF, it's about 100 pages, but you can find it online. It's free. And this is 13 years old. The other stats are yesterday's numbers. And what's interesting about that is obviously cancer deaths have gone up in 13 years. Heart disease deaths have gone up in 13 years. This number has absolutely gone up in 13 years because that's what they're trying to prevent. And if you wanted the actual table right here, 783,000, it's a conservative number, by the way. And then if you add in that ADRs is adverse drug reactions, and medical errors is another 400,000. So just shy of 1 million people every single year to Western medicine. So that definition we talked about, we were talking about function, that's actually Health 101, optimal function of the body. So if you know anything about the English language, we're not that creative. We steal a lot from Greek, we steal a lot from Latin. So if you want to see what the word means, you actually just go to the root word. First 4 letters of health are heal. So health is how your body's healing. Health is how your body is functioning. So this is gold standard. Anyone in the healthcare profession, Gray's Anatomy, it's actually literally page 2. It says that the nervous system controls and coordinates all function of the body. So, Dr. Rob, I'm a chiropractor, and we are doctors of the nervous system. So this is a extremely elementary sketch right here of the central nervous system, peripheral system. So central, brain and spinal cord, peripheral goes out to the distal parts of your body. So the nervous system goes to all the organs. It goes to, your tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes, some run down the backs of your legs. So anytime that you start seeing some irregularity, so if it's an organ that's not functioning right, reproductive, digestive, or just aches and pains, doesn't it make sense that we need to look at the one system that controls and coordinates all of them before we start throwing drugs and surgery at it? I would say it does, and a lot of my patients would agree with you. So the big idea, so the nervous system, opinion or fact? So whenever we're looking at that, most people know that if you were to cut off the head, the body dies, right? Is that an opinion or is that a fact? It's 100% fact. Well, in the same way, if you were to take a little bit of pressure, put it on a nerve, or if you were to irritate the nerve, cause inflammation, anything to remove the function of the body, it's always going to cause a symptom. That's also 100% fact. So the reason that the nervous system is encased in 100% bone, and it's the only system that does that, is because the most important, it's the most delicate system. So skull right here, and actually the spinal column protect that central nervous system. So as chiropractors, what we do is find what's called a subluxation. So it's anytime one of these joints, the first bone in your neck is right behind your ear right here, and the last one is right above your butt. Anytime one of those loses its position and starts causing imbalance in the nervous system, that's what we call a subluxation. So a lot of people think chiropractors just crack bones, but what we actually do is restore that motion, restore life, healing potential to every organ, cell, and tissue in the body. So spinal health, these are just a few statistics. This is from the Ohio Chiropractic Association. And some things that we do, who wants reduced hospital admissions, reduced surgeries, reduced pharmaceutical costs? Probably every single person in the world. We're actually found to be twice as effective as your regular MD. And we're utilized by every NFL football team. The reason for that is we're wellness. We're not just pain management. We're optimal function. So we've also been shown to reduce and eliminate medication. So these are actually studies. These are not chiropractic studies. These are joint studies for orthopedic medicine, just showing what a loss of posture does, what a loss of curve in the spine or increase in curve in the spine can do. It's actually shown to take up to 14 years off someone's life just by having improper loading of the spine. And then this last one I love too can cause intestinal diverticulitis, so just say any kind of intestinal problem, osteoporosis, hip and foot deformities, overall poor health, quality of life loss, and shortened lifespan. So guys, if you want to come into our office, I would highly recommend it. We have appointments Tuesday and Thursday. My beautiful assistant, Courtney, will come and get your appointment right now, and we'll see you then.